my worst enemy. The flesh that's covering me brings me down to my knees.
Welcome to Sermons in the Park, a ministry exploring biblical truth from the Word of God, focusing on the truths that help us in our daily walk with Christ in every aspect of our lives. Now, here is your Reverend, Jamie McCaskill.
Hello, brothers and sisters, and welcome back to an all-new Sermons in the Park. As always, I am your Reverend Jamie McCaskill. This is our continued special sermons during the layoff that I'm currently going through. If you'd like to help, guys, down below is my Cash App. Just putting that out there if you'd like to help, if you feel compelled to help. So, let's get into what we're here for today. The bulk of today's sermon will come from Mark chapter 8, verses 36 to 37, which reads, "For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul?" Think about it this way. Let's say you inherit a house and you go up in the attic, you're cleaning it all out, you're getting everything cleaned up so you can move in or sell the house or whatever, and you go into the attic and you're throwing all this junk away. And then in the corner you find a painting. And you look at that painting and you think, it's just trash. And then along comes an art expert who tells you that painting is worth millions. What has changed, honestly? The painting didn't change, did it? Only its value changed in your eyes, because you find out that this painting was valuable all along. The only thing that honestly changed was what you understood about it. Now, think about this. What's your soul worth? Because according to Jesus, your soul is priceless. It's worth more than all the wealth, all the power, all the treasures of this whole world combined. But to many people, they will trade their soul for something temporary, whether it be money or power or prestige. These temporary pleasures of this world, these fleeting things. What I want to challenge you with today is to reflect on the eternal value of our souls and the choices that we make in light of eternity. Now, if you want to read more into what we're going to be talking about, I challenge you to go look at Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 11. Because your soul is the essence of who you are. Your mind, your emotions, the will, your spirit. Unlike your body, which will age and die, your soul will live forever. C.S. Lewis wrote this. He said, "You don't have a soul. You are a soul. What you have is a body." What he was doing was reminding us that our true identity is not tied to earthly things. It's tied to the eternal. Imagine there's a single grain of sand. Compare that to all the beaches of the earth. That grain of sand represents your time here on earth, while all the rest of it symbolizes eternity. We often live as if the grain is all that matters, and we will ignore what comes after it. We have two things that are offered to us from eternity, and that is heaven or hell. Go read Matthew chapter 25, verse 46, and you'll see what I mean. I mentioned this recently when I was talking about hell, but hell is not just a place of punishment. Hell is eternal separation from God, from his love, from his light, from his goodness. The world can never satisfy your soul. Go look at Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verses 10 to 11. You'll see what I mean. Because you see Solomon was the most wealthy, most wisest man who ever lived. He indulged in every type of pleasure imaginable. He had wealth, he had fame, he had power, he had all the entertainment that he could ever wish for. But he declared it all as vanity. The problem with chasing these worldly things is that they can never fill the void in your soul. The only thing that can is God. I'll give you some modern examples here. Celebrities who might seem to have it all, but when you notice something, they're all plagued with depression. They're all plagued with addiction, with emptiness. Because why? Because they discover that fame and fortune will never bring them true peace. Michael Jackson once said, "I've seen the top of the mountain, and it's not what you think it is." The truth of the matter is the human heart was made to worship God. And when we replace him with material things or selfish ambitions, we end up restless and unfulfilled. Think of it this way. You're drinking salt water because you're thirsty. You know, salt water, it looks refreshing, doesn't it? But salt water will only make you more thirsty. And that's what pursuing the world will do to you. The world will promise you satisfaction, but it will leave you empty. Now let's talk about the high cost of losing your soul. A lot of what I use today, go read Hebrews chapter 9, verse 27, and Revelations chapter 20, verses 11 to 15 for this next section. But Jesus warns us of the ultimate tragedy. Of gaining everything that the world has to offer, but you'll lose your soul. You see, the Bible teaches us that each and every one of us are guilty of sin. Each and every one of us. Romans chapter 3, verse 23. And it is sin that separates us from God. And the penalty for that sin is what? It's death. It's eternal death. Think of it this way. You're standing in a courtroom. You're guilty of a crime. You can't deny that crime. The evidence is overwhelming. The judge looks at you and says, "You're guilty." Now, that's a frightful thought, isn't it? But all of a sudden, someone steps up and they pay your fine. That is what Jesus did on the cross. And if you reject his sacrifice, you are literally choosing to pay the penalty yourself. That's a sobering thought, isn't it? Because you see, hell is no joke. It's not some party like a lot of us believe it is, and movies show us that it is. Hell is eternal regret because you rejected the offer of salvation offered to you by God. Some more reading you can go do is John 3:16, which you already know. Everybody does. Everybody knows John 3:16. And as well as 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 18 and 19. So, speaking of the value of the soul, how do you know the value of something? It's easy. It's what someone would be willing to pay for it. And God valued your soul so much that he sent his son down here to die for you. Jesus shed his precious blood to redeem you from sin and give you eternal life. You know, this is the one that I usually, when I'm talking with someone, that I will watch their face when I say this. Someone should listen really closely. Jesus died happily on that cross. Even if only one person accepted him, and that person was you, that would mean Jesus died for you. He still did it just for you. That's a sobering thought, isn't it? You see, a jeweler, the way that they see a value in a diamond, even when it's covered in dirt, right? God sees value in you. Even when your life is messy and broken, God still sees the worth there. Your worth is not based on your accomplishments or your failures. Your worth is based on the love that God has for you. So let me ask you this. What are you trading your soul for? Go and read 1 John chapter 2, verses 15 to 17. Every day, there are people out here in this fallen world who are trading their soul for temporary things, whether it be money or possessions or pleasure and entertainment or power and popularity. It's sad. It is really sad. Imagine somebody somewhere is holding on to a winning lottery ticket, and they give that to someone for a candy bar. That's ridiculous, isn't it? But when we prioritize the pleasures of this world over our eternal soul, that's exactly what we're doing. So what are you chasing in your life? Is it worth sacrificing your eternal destiny for? Go and read Colossians chapter 3, verse 2. Because as a believer, you're called to live for what truly matters. You should fix your eyes on Jesus and invest into the eternal treasures that are awaiting us in heaven. You should share the gospel. You should love others sacrificially. You should pursue holiness. Could you imagine building a sandcastle on the beach while you're seeing a tsunami come crashing in? While you're focusing on these temporary things and ignoring the eternal, that's exactly what you're doing. Are you helping others to see the value in their souls? Because that's what evangelism is. Evangelism isn't just for pastors or preachers or reverends or priests. Evangelism is for everybody, every Christian. Are you for you unbelievers who might be listening? Because I know some people listen just to kind of poke fun at me or something. You know, some of the unbelievers, but if you're an unbeliever and you're listening to this, your soul is priceless. Sin is separating you from God, and today you can accept the free gift of Christ, His salvation, by just repenting and placing your faith in Him. You shouldn't be waiting. You don't know if there is a tomorrow. And if you don't do it before tomorrow, eternity is forever. I love you, and I don't want to see you go down that route. For believers who are listening, I'm asking you this. Are you living as if your soul and the souls of others around you truly matter? You should be praying for opportunities to share the gospel. Your soul is more valuable than, and I'm speaking to everyone here, your soul is more valuable than all the riches, all the power, all the fame that this world can give you. Don't make the tragic mistake of trading your eternal destiny for things that won't last, that will one day become dust. Jesus paid the ultimate price for your soul because he loves you. And the question is this: what will you do in response to that? Thank you all for joining me here. I pray the Lord continues to bless and keep each and every one of you, and I hope to see you all soon. If you need anything, I'm here if you want to talk. If this has touched something in you and you really need someone to talk to, reach out to me. I'm here for you. I love you. God bless you, and I'll see you soon.
You have been listening to Sermons in the Park with Reverend Jamie McCaskill. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, BitChute, and Rumble. And as always, thank you for listening.
There's joy for the morning, sinner be still. Earth has no sorrow, heaven can't heal. Earth has no sorrow, heaven can't heal. So lay down